The temperatures may have cooled from our stifling hot summer, but some people are still pretty heated up about spending some of those triple-digit days without air conditioning. It's a story KXAN Investigates has been following since last summer. Tenants complaining that their landlords aren't moving fast enough to repair broken ACs. Now, inspired by one of our stories, a Williamson County judge says he believes renters have more power than they might think.
Here we put in another request.
Through an app or on the phone, Jessica Liao was careful when communicating with her apartment management.
I've had to keep my cool when I've called.
Even though she says management wasn't keeping her cool.
And shortly after we moved in, our AC went out.
Then she says came a runaround.
So Monday came along, Tuesday came along, Wednesday came along.
For about 2 weeks last month, she says she, her wife, and daughter either had no air conditioning or just a window unit in one room provided by her apartment management company. That's despite, she says, notifying management several times they did not have working AC.
Anywhere from 85 to 90 degrees in our apartment.
The heat took a toll, she says, on her 7-year-old daughter, Mackenzie.
And one night, she started complaining that she couldn't breathe and that she was feeling sick and she wanted to throw up.
Liao says Mackenzie cooled down and recovered. It was mid-September, she says, before management replaced the AC unit. I reached out to management at the Southwest Austin apartment complex, who told me they had no comment. Renters suffering without AC is an issue KXAN Investigates has been following for more than a year. From Thelma Reyes in East Austin last year, who said she spent 5 days without air.
It was hotter in here than it was outside.
To Daniel Bowers in Pflugerville this summer.
I'm estimating I lost 15 pounds.
Who told us he suffered physically and mentally without air in his rental home for more than 50 days.
It was very much an involuntary weight loss program.
And that got the attention.
I saw your story online.
Of Williamson County Justice of the Peace K.T. Musselman. Texas law does not require landlords provide air conditioning to tenants. But under state law, tenants do have a right to demand the landlord repair any condition that, quote, materially affects the physical health or safety of an ordinary tenant.
After seeing your story, I thought, I think that somebody could potentially make an argument based upon your reporting that their health and safety had been affected by not being provided with continuous air conditioning or cooling.
So Judge Musselman sent a link to our story to the Texas Justice Court Training Center, a state agency that provides legal guidance to justices of the peace. He asked the agency if tenants could file what's called a repair and remedy lawsuit if they believe their health and safety were impacted because a landlord failed to repair AC.
They did the research and found that there's been no appellate courts that have ruled on this matter. And as a result, their advice was that it is up to the individual justices of the peace to interpret that section of the code.
Musselman stresses this does not mean he or any other justice of the peace would automatically rule in favor of the renter. Each case is different, but he says it does give renters an option they may not know they have.
It means that there is potentially recourse in your local justice of the peace court, which is a judge who's elected from your neighborhood, is in the same heat that you have to live in, and is the judge who gets to determine whether or not something meets that code. The judge can order a certain issue to be repaired and remedied by a certain time date as well as offer an award of a 1 month's rent plus $500.
The law also allows the judge to grant a maximum of $20,000 in damages. Judge Musselman says in order to file a repair and remedy case against your landlord, you do have to first give them proper legal notice to that landlord asking for a repair and give them a reasonable amount of time to make the repair, which the law defines as 7 days. You also have to be current on your rent. Now, the judge says in most cases, you do not need a lawyer to bring a repair and remedy case before a justice of the peace. To learn more about that process, he says contact your justice of the peace.